welcome everyone. So for this short practice, all you'll need is a yoga mat and potentially a chair or the arm of a couch. We're going to start with our right hand behind our back. So the back of your right hand is going to land on the middle of your back, and then the palm of your left hand is going to land somewhere on the front of your torso, around the chest or the ribs. And then you can step to the front of your mat. Stand with your feet about hip width apart, and with your hands on your body here, start to send your inhales in the direction of your hands. And then feel your hands come closer towards each other as you exhale. So slow your breath down. Do that again. Using our breath here to start to create some more space within our body. And in this arm position, we get a little gentle stretch through the front of the right shoulder. Let's do one more breath here. Stay with your breath, just switch the hands. So bring your right hand to the front of your body and bring the back of your left hand to the back of your body and start to expand your breath in the direction of your hands. Feel what you feel through the front of your left shoulder here as you breathe. 2 more breaths. Feel that expansion front and back. And then feel the hands come closer together as you breathe out. Last one. Stay with your breath in and out through the nose. Just relax your arms by your side. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up above your head, bend your elbows, and hold opposite elbows. Think of pulling your elbows back so that your biceps frame your ears. Keep that and remember which forearm is on top. And step your right foot back about a foot so that both of your legs are straight, both feet are firmly planted in the ground. From here, we're going to do a side bend with our upper body to the left. So lean your shoulders and your elbows and your head to the left. Let your pelvis and your hips reach to the right. So use your left fingers on your right elbow here to really pull that elbow across into the left and send 2 breaths to the space of your right rib cage. Slowly lift your torso back up through center and then relax your arms down by your side. Step your right foot forward to meet your left foot. We'll do that to the other side. So reach your arms above your head and then hold opposite elbows, bringing the opposite forearm on top from what you last did on the other side. Pull the elbows back. Feel that stretch around your shoulders. Frame your ears with your biceps as best you can. And then step just your left foot back about a foot. Really plant that heel down, both legs straight. Breathe in, and then side bend your upper body to the right as you breathe out. So go the other way. Think hips to the left, elbows, shoulders, head to the right. Take 2 more deep breaths towards the left side of your torso here that we're stretching and lengthening. And then come back upright with your torso. Relax your arms by your side. Step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Now step your feet just a little bit wider. Think outer hip width apart. We're going to do a little bit of movement with our breath here. So as you inhale, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Reach your fingers up. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and reach your hands for your knees. Land them there. Keep your knees bent. Then breathe in and arch your back. Think of lifting your tail up, stretching your chest up. And then breathe out and round your spine. Tuck your tail, tuck your chin towards your chest. Do that one more time. So keep your knees bent. Think of sticking your bum out. Come into a back bend. Reach your chest and eyes up. And then breathe out and round your spine. Think of making a C curve with your spine. And then round yourself to stand all the way up, letting your head be the last thing to arrive back in Tadasana, or standing mountain pose. Let's do that again. So breathe in, reach your arms up, and really stretch your fingers as high as they'll go. And then breathe out, bend your knees, reach your hands for your knees, land them. Breathe into a back bend here, so lift your tail, look up, and then breathe out and round your spine. Do that again. Keep your knees bent, breathe in, standing back bend. And breathe out, standing cat pose. Pull the fronts of your ribs in. And then round yourself back, up to standing, all the way up. Little different this time. Breathe in and reach your arms up, stretch up. And this time as you breathe out, bend your knees and land your elbows on your thighs. Hands can come together lightly, or they can just make gentle fists. And with your elbows on your thighs here, think about shifting your weight towards your toes. Keep your knees bent, and then let your head drop down as well. So it's a supported forward fold, or Uttanasana. Think of your sitting bones lifting up towards the ceiling, even with a bend of the knee, so that you can visualize the backs of your legs lengthening here, digging your heels down, shifting your weight towards your toes so you can lift your sitting bones maybe an inch higher. Let your head drop forward and down. Take 2 breaths. Now from here, keep your knees bent, shift your weight to your left foot, and bring both of your hands onto your left thigh. So all of your weight's onto the left foot, both knees are bent. Step your right toes back to a little lunge. So reach the toes back, land them, and then bend your back knee all the way to the ground. Think of lifting your torso up away from your front thigh and land here in your lunge position. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, think of sending your pelvis and hips forward, bending your front knee more. Do that again. So breathe in to kind of pull and glide your pelvis back. Breathe out to glide it forward. 2 more like that. Breathe in, shifting your hips back. And breathe out, glide forward. Get longer through your back thigh. Last time. Breathe in. Now, as you shift your pelvis forward, we're going to keep it in a forward position. Keep your left knee bent, and then bring both of your hands behind your head, one at a time. Interlace your fingers and really hold the back of your skull with your hands, and then push the back of your head into your hands to turn your chest, ribs, and face up towards the ceiling. Widen your elbows apart. Feel that back bend all the way from your back foot out through the crown of your head. Take another big breath in and out. Stretch your chest. Now bring your hands back onto your front thigh. We're going to reverse those steps. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off of the ground, and then step your back foot to meet your front in a bent knee position, like a chair squat. And then let's switch sides. Bring both hands to your right thigh. Shift all of your weight to your right foot. Keep both knees bent for now. And then step your left toes back to a lunge and drop your left knee all the way down to your mat. Settle here. And then we'll do that same movement with the hips and legs. So breathe in as you are. Let your pelvis glide forward as you breathe out. Do that again. Breathe in to shift back. Breathe out to bend your front knee more. Glide your pelvis towards your front heel. Do that again. Breathe in. Breathe out and shift forward. Now stay forward and bring your hands behind your head again. Interlace your fingers. Lean the weight of your head back. Pull your elbows wider apart. Flare your ribs forward and up. Take another deep breath in and out here. Bring your hands back onto your front thigh, so take the back bend out of it. Look down to your mat and reach all 10 fingers to the ground, to the inside of your front foot, so that you can step your front knee to meet your left knee in a tabletop position, so hands and knees. Plant your hands flat so the palms are down directly under your shoulders. Shift your weight to the right side and step your left toes to the back of your mat. Tuck your left toes under at the back of your mat, and then push your left heel back in space. So think about getting longer through your back calf, the left calf here. And to do that, we create the action of trying to slide the hands forward, but they don't move because of the sticky mat. Instead, the left heel stretches back. Take one more breath here. Now, with those left toes that are at the back of your mat, cross them over to the right behind you so that your thighs are kind of crisscross. Shift your weight to your right hand and then reach all 5 fingertips of the left hand forward and down to the ground. So your left arm gets long, your left leg gets long and is over to the right. Keep that and look over your right shoulder towards your back foot. Push the heel back more and breathe into this side body stretch, lengthening the left side of our body and down into the waist, into the hip, and into the leg. One more breath. And then look back down to the mat by your hands. Land your left hand under the left shoulder, and then step your left knee back to meet your right. Tabletop. Other side, step your right toes to the back of your mat, please. Keep them there and tuck the toes, and then push your right heel back further in space. Feel that stretch across the back of your right leg, especially within the muscles of the calf. One more breath here. And then we'll do that same side bend stretch. So with your right toes that are back, keep your right leg long, but step your right toes to the left behind you. So cross them to the left off of your mat. Shift your weight to your left hand and bring your right fingertips forward more. So lengthening the right arm and landing the fingers to the ground. Keep all of that and look over your left shoulder to see your right foot behind you. Press your right heel further back and feel how that lengthens the right side of your body here. Take 2 more breaths. And then come back to center, look to your mat, land your right hand flat under your right shoulder, land your right knee under your hips. So from tabletop, we're going to think about keeping our hips where they are. So keep your bum, your pelvis above your knees. And you can walk your hands forward, keeping the pelvis where it is, but get longer through your arms. And then in that position, let your head drop down so that your biceps frame your ears again, like we found before. Pull the fronts of your ribs up and in, and try to get as long as you can through the sides of your waist and your outer shoulders. If you need more padding under the knees, we're here for about 5 more breaths. You can always pause your video and double over the edge of your mat so you have extra cushioning. 3 more breaths here in puppy pose, which is a variation of downward facing dog. So if puppy pose is feeling okay, let's try downward facing dog. Walk your hands back in so they're under your shoulders. And then from there, we're going to tuck all 10 toes, lift our knees off of the ground, and then lift our hips up towards the ceiling as we work towards straightening our arms and our legs in downward facing dog, creating an inverted V with our body. So if this position is too difficult for any part of your body, you can try bending your knees and reaching your hips up and back more. And if that still doesn't help to sustain the position in stillness, you can drop your knees to the ground and either find a chair or the side of a couch works perfectly. You can come and set your hands onto something like a chair or like the arm of a couch. And then the hands can be there for downward facing dog, and we can walk the feet back, sticking our bum out, making that same V shape with our body, but with less weight bearing on our hands. So this is a nice way to build towards downward facing dog. Again, trying to pull the front ribs in so it's not a back bend through the spine. Think biceps framing your ears, pressing your sitting bones back away from your hands, and trying to bring your spine more or less parallel with the ground. And in this variation too, you can always bend your knees if there's any kind of restriction through the hamstrings or the backs of the legs in any way. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths, whether you're in puppy, downward dog, or a variation of downward dog using a chair or a couch. And then bring your knees to the ground if you're in downward dog, or walk your feet forward if you're using some kind of prop. And stand back up. Come back to your mat. You can wait on your hands and your knees if you're there. We'll meet you in a tabletop position, and then come all the way down to our belly. So stretch your legs long, bring the fronts of your thighs onto the ground, and set yourself up for Sphinx pose. So come onto your forearms here so that your elbows more or less land directly under your inner shoulders. And we're trying to get the forearms parallel with the long edges of our mat. Palms can be down in front of you. It doesn't matter if the fingers and hands are on the ground or on the mat. What we want to do here is create the action of trying to slide the elbows back so that your chest reaches forward. So think of your shoulder blades in your upper back pulling back behind you and sliding down the back of your body. Gaze forward towards the horizon in front of you. Send 2 breaths up towards the space where your sternum meets your collarbones. And then stay here, but lift your chin up. Look towards the ceiling. Stretch the front of your throat. Pull the ears back towards the shoulders and take 2 more breaths. And then look forward again. Slide your elbows wider, stack your hands, melt your ribs down, and then melt your chest down and rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Belly Shavasana. Take 2 breaths here, feeling your belly move in and out of the ground as you breathe. And then from here, we're going to roll ourselves over onto our backs. So bring your hands to the ground, and then use your hands to kind of turn your body to one side and roll yourself onto your back. As you come onto your back, please bend your knees and land your feet on the ground, soles of the feet on the ground. Pick just your right foot up and cross your outer right ankle over your left thigh. And then widen your right knee away from your belly and chest, like you're trying to reach your outer right knee towards the back of your mat. If you were to look at your legs, they look like half of a number 4. So stay in this position, relax your left arm down, and then if you can, land either your right fingertips or the palm of your right hand to your inner right thigh, and give a little push of the hand into the thigh to help widen the right knee away from your belly and chest. So increase the external rotation happening at your hip with the help of your hand, and then feel whatever you feel in terms of stretch and sensation around your outer right hip and thigh. 1 more breath. And then keep your legs exactly as they are, but relax the push of your right fingers or right hand. Bring your right arm to the ground. Now with your legs in this configuration, drop your legs to the left. So keep them as they are, ankle to thigh, but as you drop your legs in this format to the left, land the sole of your right foot to the ground. So you're in this twist. Think of heavying the back of your right shoulder, and then maybe the left hand this time comes to the inner right thigh, and then we give a little push of that thigh with the hand to widen the outer right knee away from your ribs and your belly. So similar stretch to what we just found before, but with the added element of a twist of the pelvis and low back to the left. One more breath here. Relax the left arm and hand down. Keep your legs in that figure 4 and bring them back to center. Uncross your right ankle and land the right foot flat. Take a breath in and out here with a neutral spine. Other side. Pick just your left foot up. Keep both knees bent. Cross your outer left ankle over your right thigh. And then widen your left knee away from your torso. Use your left hand or left fingers to your inner left thigh to push that thigh and knee away, keeping the ankle clipped on the right thigh. Relax your lower abdomen so that the breath has tons of space to freely move in and out of your body here. Feel whatever sensations you feel here around your left hip, your left thigh, the low back, and take one more big inhale and exhale. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Relax your left hand and left arm to the ground. From here, we're going to twist the legs in this configuration to the right. So let your legs as they are drop to the right. Land the sole of your left foot to the ground. And then option here is to place your right hand or right fingertips to your inner left thigh and use the right hand this time to widen that thigh and knee away from your low belly while grounding the left foot to the ground. Think of bringing a bit more weight towards the back of your left shoulder, almost like you could get wider and broader across your chest and collarbones. 2 more breaths. Relax your right arm by your side. Bring your legs back to center. Uncross your left ankle, land the left foot on the ground just like the right, and take a breath into a neutral spine. Let's lengthen our low back here. So lift your feet up, keep your knees bent, grab your knees with your hands, and use your hands to pull your knees and thighs closer towards your ribs. Now from here, you can pull on the knees enough to even maybe point your tailbone slightly up, like the low back could start to curl up away from the ground. Keep that length of the low back and your spine, and then lift your head and shoulders, tuck your chin, and pull yourself into a tight little ball. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, expand yourself across the ground. Reach your feet towards the back of your mat. Let your feet come wider than the edges of your mat. Turn the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling and relax the weight of your arms towards the ground. Close your eyes. Visualize and sense that sensation of your hands, one on the front of your body and one on the back of your body. And as if they were still there, send your breath in the direction of the imprint of your hands. Feel your torso expand and contract with every breath. And then relax any control that you have over your breathing. Like you could hand the task of breathing back over to your body. Feel what you feel in your body here. So I encourage you to take at least another 2 minutes here in stillness and silence. And when you feel ready to move again and go back into the rest of your day, take another couple deliberate, intentional breaths. and then ease your way into whatever is next for you. Savor this stillness as long as you possibly can here in Shavasana. And this is where I will leave you. So I hope we get to practice together again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for practicing with me today.